So in this video, I'm going to be removing my old Fresh Tank Water Monitor, which does not work, and replacing it with the new one that they sent me, which is a little bit different size. It's slightly bigger and a little bit different design. Hopefully it functions. This one here, when you push the button, you get, it just always says empty, no matter how full it is. Anyway, hopefully replacing this will make it work. We'll find out, and I'll show you how to do it. First thing I'm going to do is take off the old one here. So all right, let's see here. Okay, so I had already actually taken this off previously. I knew this hole wouldn't line up, so I went ahead and built this little template here, and this template is what I'm going to use to actually cut out the additional space I need for this one, because this one here is larger. So basically what we've got here, right here is the new tank monitor, and here is the old tank monitor. Okay, so I looked at the video online about how to put one of these type in as a new installation, and I am interpolating and figuring out that a lot of this work has already been done for me. This here is all of the grounds tied together on this connector, and then the hot, okay, here it is. I was like, where the heck is it? Is this one here. So hot, negative. If you're looking at the new one, this here is the ground side. Okay, so that's your ground side, which has a wire coming from the panel here going into it, tied together, and then it's also got the ground coming out of the, I guess this is the monitor side. So basically this side is the switch to turn on and off the pump, and this side is the monitor momentary switch. So this here is your ground, and this here will be your hot. So I was going to actually take the ground from the old and cut that wire like here somewhere, and then splice it into this one here, which is the new. Okay, that was my plan. And then, because I've actually got two wires here and I only have, well, one spot here, so I'm going to go ahead and just take this tail and use it and split one into two by putting it in here, which there's already a connector for. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. So there's a few wires here, so it can be a little confusing. I think it'll make more sense when I get this old one out of the way. And then I was going to take the hot. Actually, I could just run this one straight over. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll take this connector off and just run this wire straight over to the hot. Yeah, that's probably a better, cleaner solution. And then for the blue wire, which is the tank wire, that one I am sort of making an educated guess. So we'll see if it's a wrong guess. But I believe that this white and green wire was tied to the ground on this side, and it was open on this side. So I'm going to say that this is the wire going to the tank. So I'll let you know if that's true or not. So right now I'm going to take my template paper, and I'm going to go into this existing hole and just extend it out with this new template out this way. So I'll do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get it done. Okay, so I got my hole cut, extended I guess I should say, after using my little template. And that's a template I just made. I just took the back of that unit and measured things and kind of figured it out on my own. Supposedly there's a template that Encore RV has for that, but it didn't come with mine. So anyway, that's what I've got so far, and I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up, and I'll do the wiring, and then we'll see if it works. My plan is I'm gonna take the ground wire here, and I'm gonna cut it, we'll say right there, give myself a little bit of room, and we'll strip it back. Stripper don't work too great. And then we'll take this and hook it ground to ground. And then I'm going to tape these all up when I get done. This one here, I'm going to just take this contact off, and I'm going to twist this together. This is the hot, and I'm going to run it straight to this hot using their existing contact. So it will go in there like that. Hopefully that won't tie anything up. All right, make sure that's good. Got some good contact. All right, so then I'm going to take off all of the contacts for the old. So there's that. This should be able to just pull this straight off and put this straight on to this one, like this and so. There we go. There, so that gets our old one out of there. So let's give this new one some power and see if it works. All right, so let's see. That's working. All right, so the water pump works. That's a good sign. Let's see what we got for Fresh Tank. It shows as empty, so that's likely since there's really not much in the way of water in there. We'll go ahead and put the screws in and mount this thing, and I'll put some water in it and we'll see if it actually works. Okay, I just wanted to show you real quick that I did tape off all of these connectors so that they just can't inadvertently fly open. So hopefully that'll keep them from coming undone in the event something happens and bouncing down the road and unhooking everything. I decided that I really need to drill some pilot holes instead of just trying to go rogue here. Make sure there ain't no wires right here when I'm drilling my holes. All right, let's see what happens. Try that again. All right. There we go. Maybe that'll work. Alright, so this appears to be on there good. Alright, so let's put some water in this thing and see if it actually will tell us if there's some water in there. Okay, so I have water going in there. So, Fresh tank currently showing empty. Water going in. We'll see what happens. Now what we've got, it's really not full, but it's showing like it is full. But at least that's something different than what we had before. But I think that the pigtail wires might be swapped out or something, because it might not be in the right order, because it started showing full immediately after it started showing anything. Like it didn't go, you know, 1/3, 2/3 full. It just went empty, full, which kind of tells me that they probably have the wires swapped out in the wrong order or something. So I don't know. So I'm going to probably have to go into where the tank is at and see what's what. It is doing something different than the other one. The other one, no matter what we put, never ever showed anything other than empty. So at least it does show something different. So, you know, it could be that there was something wrong with the actual monitor itself, but I think that there's also something wrong at the tank wiring as well. So I'm not done yet. So anyway, the whole point of this, I probably didn't actually mention this to begin with, and I should mention this. So the whole point of doing this change out was that this one here, according to the dealership that I bought this from, was a bad unit, and they had ordered a new unit, but it wasn't in yet when we picked up our ROG. So it was shipped to me, and I just basically looked at the videos online at Encore RV, actually from Jamie, and you know, kind of interpolated from those how to hook it up. I think I have this unit hooked up correctly, but it doesn't work as it should because it's showing full, and well, it's really not full yet. So I think something's wrong with at the tank monitor side as well. So anyway, I'm not done yet. All right, so I actually do have the tank completely full now. Physically, I know it's full because, well, water started coming out of the spigot. But it started showing full. The monitor here started showing full way before I ever got full, you know. So I'm gonna have to pull the cover off the tank and see how that's wired, and we'll go from there. All right, folks, it's the next day, and my plan is I'm going to take off all of the screws that are holding on this panel right here, and behind here should be my water tank, and I'm going to check and see what the wiring tells me when I pull that off. So there. All right, so this is what it looks like behind here for all of you who are curious. So there's the intake for the tank, just a flex hose there, and then you can see the plumbing, and then the pump is all down here, and then looks like you've got a place there to do your winterizing, so that's good. I probably will modify that to some degree, and then this is what I am looking for, right? Yeah. All right, so I think that's the whole thing in a nutshell. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So we're missing the pigtail. Yeah, so it looks like the red and black wire and the white and green wire are what is hooked up here. And in the video that I saw, there's actually a pigtail. All right, gangsters. So I got in touch with Encore and talked with them about my monitor situation, my tank monitor situation, which it partially is working and yet not exactly. And from what I understand, I need this pigtail right here. This pigtail evidently has some resistors in this little piece right here, and they're different ohms of resistance across certain wires. And so as the tank gets depleted and you lose contact with one of them, the resistance changes, and that's what tells the little monitor thing, you know, what the level is. I'm going to take that panel off. Okay, so really couldn't really film me working in here because it's just too tight of a spot, but I thought I'd just point it out to you. Ground is the white on the bottom, and then the yellow, green, and orange are all positive, and they splice to the positive of the feed wire. Okay, so this red wire in the pigtail splices to the positive of the feed wire coming from the monitor itself. Okay, and that is all of these wires, excuse me, all of these wires here are positive. Okay, and then the yellow splices to the next one up, so it's white, yellow, and then green, and then orange. Okay, so I'm just going to check right now and see if I've actually got a light at all. So it does show as empty currently, so That makes sense because it's empty. So I'm gonna go start filling it up with water and see if this thing actually starts to tell me a third, 2/3, and full. I would like to give a shout out to Jamie at Encore. I had reached out to her about whether or not I needed anything else, because I sent her a couple pictures of what I had done, and that's when she checked with the guys, the technicians there, and they said he needs a pigtail, which makes sense to me based upon the videos and stuff that I've watched and from the research that I've done about how this thing works. So I'm thinking that it should work. I'm hopeful. So let's see. Let's fill it up. Okay, it's a filling. Okay, so it looks like it's about up to the negative, or the ground wire, which looks to me to be about a third full. So I don't know how this thing works, so we're going to find out. Let's see if it shows anything different. All right. Still shows empty. Okay, so it's about up to the first positive wire, which is the yellow wire, and to me it looks to be about half full, but hey, what do I know, right? So let's go here, see what we got, see if there's anything different. Okay, so it shows a third full. So that's something new and different that we haven't had previously. So from my assessment, I would say that, you know, a third and 2/3 and full are actually probably not terribly accurate, because a third just got to the first wire, and to me that's about half full, you know. So just a little FYI for you, if it shows a third full, you probably got a lot more than a third. All right, so it looks like we might be up to the second positive wire, which to me looks to be about 3/4 full, but hopefully it'll indicate on the monitor as at least 2/3. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so it says 2/3. Okay, so it does show 2/3. Okay, interesting. So it did for a second show full and then switched to 2/3. Okay, so if your tank shows 2/3 full, it's probably got more than 3/4. Okay, so the tank is just about to that third positive wire, so I'm going to guess it'll show full, and it's almost full. Let's take a look. See what we got here. Yes, and it shows full here, which makes sense based upon all the information that I have, but it's not exactly quite full. Water will start coming out right down here when it's full. That'd be the overflow line, and if water starts coming out here, then it's full. I think it's just now starting to, there we go. So there, it's coming out of the overflow. So there we go. Okay, so I had to stop the video for a second and pull the hose out of there. So when it gets to the overflow, that is how full it is. So you've got about, I don't know, maybe an inch or so. So it does seem like it works. The accuracy is not terribly great. You know, to me, 2/3 full is more like 3/4 full, and a third is more like a half. And you know, you've got from a third to empty is actually, it's about half full. When that third light goes out, when that 1/3 light goes out, you've actually got, you know, a little bit less than a half a tank of water left. So just a little FYI for you. Okay, so I am actually going to drain it again. It's draining, and I will also check it in reverse and see what it shows, just to make sure it still works as expected. Okay, so we are below the last positive wire, and I'm going to suspect that it will show empty, even though you can see it's nowhere near empty. Well, let's go look. Yep, it shows empty. So, you know, it's not super accurate, and it's just the way it is. But it does seem to work. It just works very inaccurately.
Generically.
Yeah. So anyway, there's the other gangster.
Hey.
Look at her. Yeah, she came out here to check on me.
I did.
Yeah. All right. So that's all I got to say about that. I hope this helps somebody.